all these gadgets, it's kind of hard for me to comprehend what is going on. But the bottom line is that the recording for today, let me just go straight into it, is really about having what you call a crowdfunding video that I'm going to have to put out there, and the video is going to be the fact that I already did all the groundwork and I already put a lot of video out there. Then the next point of call is going to be having a video that will convince my constituency to be able to start putting some firepower behind the project. Let me start by saying that this is a brand, and that's what we, generally speaking, in the continent of Africa, we don't have any brand out there. In America, you have what you call Google, you have what you call IBM, you have all these brand, Apple, we need the brand, and their brand is going to be the remove pain point. That's a brand. It's a brand, remove pain point, and it has what you call a lot of big things that will go behind that, which is the fact that somebody called me 2 days ago and told me, yes, you have we will now know your message. Your message is you're going to try to make a woman to become the president across the globe. That's the bottom line. But it is important too for you to know that my character is what is going to make you guys to be able to put your hard-earned money into this gigantic project. I call it gigantic project in the sense that it's very huge, and unless I am able to start doing this work full time, there is no way I can be able to get to the next level. That's very important. I want you to know that. So I am employing my loved ones who, for one reason or the other, when I was growing up, I was not supposed to go to primary school. I kept going back there. I was not supposed to go to secondary school because I lost my dad when I was little. Then, very quickly, there was a problem of my the frustration that was going on back in Africa, where a lot of people are not able to get rid of, shake it off. They can't shake it off because of that cloud of frustration that was under the original sin of slavery. That same cloud may have also started to 700,000 years ago, where women, or 1 million years ago, when women were also thrown under the bus too. The frustration was there. I believe that you always keep on hearing civilization started in Africa. It's true. Okay, let me fast forward. At this point in time, the video for today, which is going to be a podcast that will allow me to be able to have a hard-earned money coming in, will only come from my loved ones first. And I'm glad that my loved ones are now, where at one point in time had money on the table, but because of the fact that when I was back in Africa, I didn't have no monetary problem, but when I crossed to America, when I was in college, I had problem financing my education, and I saw it, as soon as I was able to finance the education, the first thing I said, okay, I'm going to go forward and start having what you call a solution to that financial problem. So at the time when I got to a point where, so all the money that I was spending, that I was making through menial jobs, 10% of it went to my loved ones one way or the other. So that 10% is the same thing you will call a tithing, which you will give to the church, because I wasn't really into going to church and all that. So I'm happy with that. Let me go with that. But the thing is that what I'm trying to say here is that as we now speak, a lot of my loved ones who may have got a little perks from me one way or the other, we're happy to see when they start feeling the fact that I wasn't able to climb to the top very quickly to become wealthy. They start saying, okay, uncle, do you need this? And I will say, no, I don't need it. When I need it, I'll call you back. Some people will tell me, uncle, I'm going to buy you a shoe for the Christmas. I said, no. It's $2,000, it's $150 for this kind of shoe that I use. I said, don't worry about it. So I'm using those two nuggets to say now that I'm putting a crowdfunding together, I'm hoping that those people will just throw some money at this project. That's the reason why I was rejecting the money. There are close associates of mine who in the past 3 weeks literally have offered to give me money even when my back is against the wall. I still said no. So it is better you take that kind of money and use it for a project like this than to take the money and use it for lunch, dinner. I'm starving right now. I don't have money to even eat. My housing system, tobacco is in the dugout. But the thing is, even my housing director or the owner of my property was trying to give me some help, and I turned them down. That is not to say that the kind of help that I needed, when I need it, I want to be able to get it. And I always got it, because even my best friend's father, who was an industrialist, when I needed to be able to get to come to America, and I wanted his bank statement, he just gave it to me. So when I came to America, I did not, after that, ask for anybody to do anything for me, because I felt strongly that I was going to be able to wing it, but without going 6 feet under. And I've successfully been able to do that. Just a minute, let me check something out. So right now, I am now at the verge of telling you that I want to do a podcast. This podcast is really about how I am going to be able to have my loved ones, which I've already instituted through the woman that I was trying to showcase for the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because she has all the qualifications. She's putting a hedge fund together for me over there to resuscitate the digital footprint that we're trying to put together on the ground there to help with the electrical grid system, everything that in there right now is in the toilet. That's just how it's supposed to be, because back in days, there was this idea of what you call Africa being the cradle of civilization, had everything. But for one reason or the other, there were some founding father of the Western world that came into Egypt and then apprenticeship for 40 years and took everything with them. And now they are now sitting over there. That is the after effect of Google, IBM, Microsoft. That's how the fertile ground of those systems came about. So the point today is only one thing that I want you to buy from what I'm selling, is that I want to be able to have the ordinary people out there, the average Joe, six-pack, to be able to put money to the crowdfunding that I'm going to be doing. But it will not happen unless I'm able to showcase my character. Call it characteristic moment, to tell you that I cannot everything I said I am going to do, I may not have been able to do it because of my attention span, but do know that I will be doing it going forward. Like, for example, I am going to be a brand, and the brand name is going to be Remove Pain Points. So if you need anything, like, for example, this year only, apart from the novel, which is going to be the only thing that I'm going to be giving away to you guys who are going to be parting with your hand-earned money, I was able to put what you call a convertible debenture, which is a venture capital memorandum together. That if you want to have a copy of it, send me information through info@Remove Pain Point, and I will send you a copy of the memorandum. My book, my novel itself, which is Guide to Goddess, it's in only a manuscript moment. Matter of fact, I would really prefer that some of my go-to people will take individual modularity from the project and finance them. For example, somebody will just come from out of nowhere and say, okay, I'm going to finance your, just a minute please. I'm going to finance your what you call your $399 that I may want to give to what you call